We're gonna do the recap.
Yay.
All right. So last time, we to recap, you guys finished the ritual, came back to consciousness, feeling most of you new access to new magics. But oddly enough, the one person who wasn't there, happened to be the one that doesn't have new magic, right?
That's crazy.
So, you know, um, to talk to you, you feel your magic stronger, more in tune with both magic types that you have. You took your friendly deer and continued to walk up north, trying to make it to the capital by the time of the meeting of the council. Through some miraculous sort of navigation checks, you made it there about a day before the council is supposed to meet. To which Teddy was extremely overwhelmed by one, not being on the ground, which, as somebody who's been attuned to Earth forever, scary, and then surrounded by about 10 times to 100 times more people than he ever has, so his mind powers went on the fritz. You all found where the council would be meeting, which, if you had been there, you could have just pointed out because you went there for a party in your youth. And you've now been waiting in line, where eventually a person walked up to you and asked what your complaint was about, and whether or not you chose to invoke any favors of members of the council.
And we have not decided that yet.
Which has not been decided. You know that people with a favor from the council is Liam and Miko.
Wasn't there
Miko?
something me and Miko were gonna do?
Miko.
Too?
Also, we do have a funny little telepathic bond thing going on, so we can speak privately directly in front of this person.
Yes.
That's neat.
Which isn't insignificant, by the way. That's not just a thing that, like, normal... Let's just not take it for granted.
Yeah, that is not a normal. That is a current thing that Teddy is working.
It's incredibly normal in one part of the world, but, like, not here.
But the important part is that they probably don't know about it.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even know I could do this.
Also, you saw...
I think it's really funny that Anne was like, hey, can you do this? I was like, wait. Oh, shit, I can.
Maybe.
Ahead of you, a few, 10 or 15 people in line, is the three people who include Forza's mortal enemy.
I wonder what happened to the fourth.
So, all right, you also got asked your name, have not yet given a reply. If you wish to give a fake name, Lullen
I want to give a fake name.
You don't?
Well,
I want
you
to.
do?
I want.
Okay,
I
so
want to give
Lullen
a
will
fake
give
name.
you a fake name of somebody else.
Jiggle the keys.
Well, a real
and said,
name, but
"Don't
not
grab the
yours.
keys."
Why does it
Somebody-
have to be? Why can't
Just
it
in case
just
they
be?
have records.
well,
Well, maybe
I mean,
I'm off the
he's just gonna let you
grid.
know. He's not gonna respond for you. It's just, here is an option.
I wouldn't know that. Never mind.
All right, name.
Frank.
Frank. Anything else?
What do you mean?
Like, in case...
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Like
Favorite color
just
is
Frank,
blue.
Frank only, Frank. No other future. No further name beyond Frank.
Oh,
That's stupid.
N.
Frank
Stein.
Incense.
All right, Frank N. Stein. All right, this is good. All right, any of you invoking favor from any member of the council?
What's that?
What's that?
I mean, I very visibly look like I am not a member of either of the nations that
Like,
would know what that is.
So, if through your connections you are owed a favor by a member of the council, it can streamline some of the process. Usually, you can bypass having to go to the lower councils and have them push you on to a higher council if you're connected to that higher council. It's just sort of like
Oh. I pull out my the wolf fang necklace.
All right, and you're invoking the necklace. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got connections.
All right, so
Which is maybe not a smart thing to
everything
do.
seems to be in order here. Let me
After
just
gonna
lying
ask about
about who
that.
I am.
having
Alright.
given a fake name.
Well, I haven't seen
You
her
know what?
in
Did
a while.
they ever learn
Things-
your
things-
actual name then?
yes, yes, they
Yes,
did.
but also I was a teen, and things change, you know.
You're like, I changed my name.
Yeah, I changed my name. I
Well,
went
you-
off the grid and changed my name.
This is being a goof.
All right, so
I'm not
let's
being a
let me
goof,
just
I'm being-
recap this to you. You're saying Riverhaven was attacked. Some energy people were involved. That's a big exclamation point there. You're invoking connection, Miss Chair of the Animal Council.
Miss Big Fucking Deal.
I do wait. So for me, like let me just get this from my character's point of view.
Mhm.
This just looks like he's holding up a wolf fang
It's a
on
necklace.
like a cord.
Yes,
right.
That
It's
is exactly
just
what
a
it looks
necklace.
like.
You
Like I
we
don't.
we did talk about what these things were and what they meant in character when we were camping.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like fundamentally, like there are no other outward markers that like, and yet this man seeing it somehow knew it was tied to a specific person and somehow
It's not the fang of a normal wolf, for one thing. And
It's a
culturally,
special necklace.
you know, like, these necklaces are given out as tokens from the first from like a major hunt that they have done. That is a token of their first major hunt, which was.
Yeah, but is it like is it dripping with like a nature, like an animal signature magic that I just can't see because I don't have that magic? Like
Technically, yes, an animal person would be able to tell that the teeth came from a different animal.
You know,
Benda
like,
is bringing up a very interesting question.
Lowen
of
just
how do they
hasn't
know
been talking
who this
about how he
necklace
can just
belongs to?
identify this easily.
Well, it happens
It's
to
just not
be
relevant.
that, you know, they just have to keep record of the tokens that were owned by, like, one, this is a cultural touchstone, right? Like, they have a system for this. It is a big deal enough that, like these markers aren't just handed out willy-nilly, right?
Okay, but how do we know what the markers are for, just separate from each other?
well, we don't. I mean, you need to just trust that it is a thing, but like it. My character is going to look like this is crazy, and because I think it is crazy, and it makes sense that my character thinks this is crazy, and it's fine. It doesn't need to make sense to my character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He knows that thing.
Yep. Okay. There is no like her essence is linked to it. It doesn't smell like her. That's fine.
No, like he knows that that fang came from the animal that she had killed. It's on public record. It's like a major you guys have
Yeah,
the
but he
coming of
didn't
age
just,
thing
like,
where you go to the
leap
mountain.
through like a 700 like a brick like leaflet. He just like eyed it, clocked it, and was like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
does
her."
make it seem like there was some sort of
Yeah,
marking.
except that this is basically a relic from their president. Like,
No, it is very
I
funny.
wouldn't be able to spot fucking Barack Obama's class ring. Like,
If you presented a ring to me, I wouldn't be like, yes, that ring.
That man.
The ring
I
Also-
wouldn't
to
even be
which-
able to if you. In fact, I wouldn't be able to tell you what a Super Bowl ring was from which year, right? Like
yeah,
there are very few objects.
you're also not a government worker who needs to detect Super Bowl rings as an invoking of their status.
No. And which is why
Like, this
my
is his
character
job.
doesn't need
Let's
to
just move on.
understand it. Yeah, my character doesn't need to understand it.
And to be clear, he needs to know the tokens of 4 people. There are only 4 animal people on the higher council.
Well, there's also a lesser council. Anyway,
Yeah, but if you're gonna
He's mentioned
invoke,
there were multiple.
if you're gonna
so
invoke lesser council, like you're nobody anyway.
let's move on.
All right, I'm gonna file this away, and then somebody will come by to get you when it's time.
Okay.
Okay.
all right.
So do we just have to wait here, or is there?
Can we do
I'm
some
gonna clock-
sightseeing?
Yeah, you
I'm
need,
gonna
you
clock
need to
the
wait
trio.
wait in the square here, but you don't need to stand in line. You're invoking the favor.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna go walk over to Veronica.
Can I only
Yeah,
do
I'm
this
walking over
once?
to the group too.
Depends.
And you're gonna have to ask the person.
It depends on the person who gave you the favor if they want it back afterwards. Like, it depends on what you're invoking here.
Okay.
I don't make that decision. She will.
I make the paperwork. I don't make the rules. So yeah, I'm gonna walk over to the trio alongside Teddy.
I'm
Keep
just getting out
up
of
with me.
line.
I got big legs.
I got normal legs.
All right, so which one of you is engaging first?
I was checking if anybody else was gonna declare anything they were gonna do.
No, I'm just getting down into the square and just waiting.
Yeah. I'm
Alright.
just gonna be in line.
So yeah, I'll just I'll walk up with Teddy. I don't know. What are you gonna do, Teddy? Are you gonna?
I said I was
Greece.
going to Veronica. We're the two like
Yeah.
I mean I guess now like it is very easy to spot us in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very easy to spot both Teddy and Llewellyn.
Yeah, no, but like equally like I don't think she is quite as tall as
As
um,
us.
as us, but like Veronica equally towers above her peers.
Yeah. It's like, hey.
So yeah, I'm gonna just stride over to her, and like I don't even think I really fully wait for her to like turn and clock me if she fully does before I'm hugging her.
Oh, you made it out.
just like I'm gonna try to like lift her. I don't fully know how dense we are as individuals. We might be. I don't know.
You
I'm
try
like
and
doing
you
the
pull your
whole
back
like
out.
bear hug squeeze. Yeah, like I'm also fuck, I'll roll.
Oh, right. Need to pull up the thing.
Oh, fucking exploded. I'm
Right.
obviously not
Player
trying to
game.
hurt her,
Yeah,
but like
you left her off the ground.
yeah, me having to roll a d20. All right, so yeah, I like, ugh, and like do the fucking spin is like, ah, okay, okay, oh goodness, and I am grounded at least somewhat. And I like hold her and then put her back down. And I'm gonna like rest my forehead against hers. Are you hurt? Are you okay?
I'm completely fine. I assumed your group vanished in the night, and then there was the whole attack. So we assumed something must have happened to you.
Yeah, we spotted some of the nastiness as it was approaching and tried to get word out to town. I think I th- I at least got word out to my mom um and some of the adults, which I think might have helped with the some of the early evacuation, but I haven't heard from any of them since. I know multiple families got to the tunnels. Did Have you heard anything? Have you seen anyone? I I don't I know we had an evacuation plan. I just didn't know where any of it ended up.
Well, most of the evacuation plan only was it, it didn't cover what happens if town was destroyed. There were meeting points afterwards, but I don't think much of town is still there. You're here to ask for some amount of aid in traveling, and I was heading towards our homeland where our powers originate from, in hopes that maybe by chance that's where my parents decided to go.
Okay. Oh, it's good to see you.
And while that happens, Hal looks over at you, and he's like,
Uh,
"Ah, made it out, did you?
yeah. You too, I say.
We thought you died. I was betting on it. Didn't come back."
Bell, nah. Good
Mhm.
thing you're a poor gambler.
We're just having this wholesome moment, and you're just like,
What about you, huh? Bet you didn't even manage to grab most of your shit.
Ah, we ran right out. You know, we saw
Yeah.
town destroyed, and we decided we gotta head out somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. You know,
A couple days we were gonna be
we are not on
gone
the best.
anyway. You know, so why
Yeah,
why
we are
not
not on
start
the
now?
we are not on the best of terms, but frankly, what happened was really messed up. So, truce for now.
All right.
And like, I'll put out my hand for a handshake.
And he does. He shakes your hand. Actually, social.
You think he shakes your hand, but he actually did it.
all right,
He grabs
I'm
your
gonna-
hand, pulls you in, knife to the chest.
all right.
I thought you were gonna
so-
say kiss to mouth.
Wait, so you are still. First off, I advise re-rolling that, but I mean, or not. You might not value it, but you also have more dice to roll because we still are linked. So through the
Oh, I do?
link, you definitely get my D8.
Okay.
And I think D6 from empathic would also apply here.
So that's a 10.
Yeah, he does shake your hand.
Like
That's it.
I like how it's like the implications here is like he might not like you, but like he's definitely won over by the like touching moment happening over in the background.
This isn't the time to be a dickhead.
Yeah, if you had rolled less than a 10, though, I was going to have him still be mad for no reason.
But I mean,
You've
listen,
had 2 years of straight beef with this guy.
We are still beefing. This is a moment of
This
our
is-
village has been
This
attacked.
is a ceasefire.
Maybe we should like relax a little.
Now, if you re-roll it and like get some crits, he just dips you into a full tongue kiss. It just gets wet and nasty.
Turns out it was jealousy all along.
Yeah, it's the flame that burns too bright.
I do think it would have been funny if you did fail it and he does pull you and stab you and then kiss you. Just really leave you on your toes.
Yeah. He gets arrested in a foreign sovereign state.
He hits me with the fucking Arkham game death scene where he just stands over my body, gives me a monologue, and then walks off screen. Should have seen that coming, plant boy.
Should have taken the drink when you had the chance.
God, it sounds so cool when I imagine the scene just playing out. But yeah, and then I'll also extend a handshake to Richard.
Yeah, Richard doesn't really have a like he hangs out with
No, but like it's a general like
yeah.
we're cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad you made it because I was gonna hit him like hit one of those moves where when we were shaking, I was gonna put my hand on his shoulder and be like, just a general recognition of
You
I'm
know what-
glad you're also safe.
What's the vibe check with Richard? Let's see. Let's see how good
I was
you do
trying to
with
ask
Richard.
Ninja while you were talking what my vibe check is with Richard right now because I don't know.
All right, but so when you're asking the vibe check about Richard, since you both asked, I'll have you both roll awareness, and I need to ask: are you asking for the vibe between Richard and Liam, or just the vibe of Richard himself?
I would say it's between like him and me more than anything. Like does he seem to have any sort of personal feelings about me and Cal always being in each other's throats? Is he like happy or for whatever reason annoyed at RC? Like, what's his thing going? What's his whole thing right now?
Remember, you get my
What's your deal?
my D8.
All right,
What's your
and
deal,
D6.
No, this isn't. Well, actually, yeah, probably. Yeah.
All right, that's a 12.
And then this is me.
Yeah. So are you also wondering his vibe about to Liam, or are you just wondering his vibe in general?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm also gonna try and check this out from afar.
Everybody's
just-
sussing out
Colloquial
Richard who has
vibe.
No. I'm just-
characteristics.
I don't give a. I personally don't. So this is, what are Veronica's friends like?
Yeah,
I am
sitting here
strictly
making
just-
sure that because I know these two have beef, that a fight is not about to break out.
So I am actually just checking out Richard's vibe in general.
Uh-huh. All right. So, Liam, you know that he has no ill will towards you. You kind of get the vibe that while he's friends with Cal, he understands that Cal is a bit of a fucking doof sometimes.
All right,
and
so he's just kind of like hanging out just to hang out.
yeah, like Cal is that friend that gets a little bit too, like he's 0 to 100 real quick, and you just sort of have to let it ride. So like
Sounds familiar.
Cal hated you, but like Richard is like, oh, fuck it, I don't guess, man.
That's
basically,
crazy.
I'm basically moving on from, hey, we got like a hostile situation, to like basically trying to diffuse it by me and Cal shaking hands, and then moving on to like start a conversation with him and Richard both, basically.
Can you
Them
remind me
being
what
like, hey,
Richard's
is
power
everything
set
okay?
is?
Plant guy.
No, he's the other plant guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we have no idea what happened to the body guy.
That would be Cal.
He became
Cat-
a body.
Cal is the body guy.
He's the
Oh,
mind and
I
body
thought there was
guy.
a fourth guy.
No, because
I was
you
the
remember
fourth guy.
you gotta remember Flores was the
Oh.
fourth guy of that group.
Oh, right.
He tagged along with them randomly.
God.
Yeah. So Richard's vibe to you, Teddy, is sort of, he's a little bit like, he's chill, but in a way that he like has a sort of like, he's clearly, Hal is a dumbass and would get into a lot of trouble if not for Richard sort of being the like one of the people who like Richard and Veronica are the balance points for Cal.
But is that like his entire being?
Well, his vibe is that he's he's a smart guy. He's a little bit on the chill side. He seems to be cautious and monitoring things. And you
Okay.
do sense a deep sadness in him about the fact that town has been destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I? Oh, so do I see it in his eyes when we're shaking hands?
I mean,
little
probably
bit.
not, because you were doing well.
You see, he's a little
I
bit
was-
sad when you look at him. Like, you don't know what he's sad about, but he looks
I
wistful.
thought I passed the vibe check, but okay.
You passed the vibe check on his vibe to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I did a different vibe check.
And also, Llewellyn, it hard to say.
He was
Actually,
fairly fine
I-
to damage
so
peer reviewed.
Probably most noticeable today that like I just noticed we like tense up mentally.
Yeah. But okay. But yeah. If you saw all of us, sorry, you said you saw all of us run away?
Y'all went up to the top of the mountain and never came back.
Oh, okay, that's where you. Okay.
Please assume
So-
something must have gotten you.
Oh yeah, of course. Unfortunately, We got away.
I make like a loud like I like as you like start to say unfortunately I literally like bleep you in your brain. Like I was like
Loud ass foghorn.
fortunately,
implicate them. Yeah.
we got away.
So what did you run into?
Oh,
Wild
We-
animal.
yeah. So I think we ran into some wild animals. Like Llewellyn said, it was kind
Yeah.
of like, honestly, it's blurry on my part because they kind of caught me by surprise, like first,
Yeah.
and then the rest of them had to kind of cover for me.
All right, roll social to lie.
I was gonna have them help me by adding to
I mean,
the
we-
story.
we
Yeah,
we
we-
are
we have-
we
we
will be
are.
helping you.
We are helping you.
Okay, what is that? A D10 plus D8 and D6?
Not D6.
Yep, just the D8.
Okay.
All right, and then what am I rolling to help?
I'm gonna count your adding of
Oh,
the
right,
D8
right.
as part of the help here.
All right.
And now he has to roll awareness.
I was gonna add more to the story, but I guess he immediately it maybe catches
You
it.
you can keep adding stuff to the story. It's
He
still
still
gets
like
a
have
roll.
it lead to an excuse to why we came back to the village, and I only got to the part where the lie happened.
yeah, that's the danger of the forest out there.
Yeah,
You don't
so
look too beat up about it though, so let's
well, we've had a
handled it
lot of
pretty well.
days to rest after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we.
fortunately, we had time to recover after that. That and the
Yeah.
village. Like we got back to the village, and I assume you were already like, were you already running away when they started attacking?
We never
Well,
came down
luckily-
from the mountain. We were half
Oh,
asleep when we
sorry,
heard the...
sorry. Okay, sorry. That's on me. I forgot that they were with us. That's
Luckily, also we had Callum with us, who's one of the trained. He was trained with the
Yeah.
healers, so you know that's aided.
Seems like
much
that
in our
specific
recovery.
healer was part of this experiment.
Are you?
The what?
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
They don't
the,
know.
Like, it's-
You know, when we were
are you saying that like out of character,
experimenting
like, or
with,
in the little mental link, or?
The mental link.
Okay.
God, we have that.
fucking
The
Callum
lag
just
about to like
not
blow
being a liar
everything up.
at all.
I mean, that
Technically
would be a
speaking-
fun way for this to go.
Technically speaking, him saying that out loud would just be like Cal would just turn to him and go, "This what?" Because he has
Like,
no context.
we have to just like erase Cal's mind.
Like
fucking
Like-
hit him with the fucking Men in Space.
Yeah.
like
Or Men in
there-
Black.
There's
Men
like a
in Black.
50-50 chance that Cal's read of that sentence would be, "Oh, so he must have been one of the people who attacked the village. That makes sense." Because he hasn't seen the village. He knows it's been destroyed. So an experiment could have been maybe someone
Yeah,
built a
yeah.
bomb. You know, like
Okay, sorry. So that okay, that's on me. I need to retrail what I was gonna say then, because I don't know why I
God,
assumed they
Jesus,
were still in the
that
village.
just got so dark in my mind because it becomes, oh, so Callum, one of the energy people we allowed to live in our village, was the threat, and like immediately it would be a problem for you. Like,
Here he is.
Yeah.
It's just with us.
Get him, boys.
But the doctor I trained with was on the list in the facility.
you really, yes, we all know that. You
We,
really,
we
need
all
to
know
be
that.
careful.
Let's continue.
Okay, Callum, whatever you say. Sure,
Yeah.
buddy.
No. We not to infantilize it. We do in fact remember. Thank you, but like
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
we need to be more. It would help in the future if you say over the like mentally, because
Yeah,
that
it should
almost
have.
caused. Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
To be fair, there were everything got messed up because I also straight up forgot that they were with us on the mountain. So that's also part of my fault.
Yeah, that was also a while ago.
It's been a week and a half at most. In
No, I mean in
universe.
real life.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
in game,
but
no.
yeah.
For
okay,
the
so,
player,
Yeah,
blah,
so-
blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So wait. So what was the story? They saw us leave at nighttime, and then we disappeared.
Well,
Yeah,
the,
you guys-
the other camps were still awake.
You guys heard about this secret, went up to the top of the mountain when it was dark, and then
yeah, we wandered off
Ah.
into the mountains
we got
at night
attacked
and
by
did
wild
not
animals.
return.
Yeah. Wait, so what happened to them? Did they find out about the village? Did they go back? What happened on their side of things?
There was a giant attack of lightning and fire down at the village.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were basically just turned in for the night when we heard like a massive amount of like a huge boom. We assumed
Okay,
some
okay.
sort of explosion, something happened in the village, and you know we got to a place where we could see it from, saw the entire thing on fire, decided cut our losses and head out here, see if we can get a start to our lives now that wherever we could go back to is gone.
That is that Cal speaking?
Yeah.
That's kind of grim,
That's kind
Cal.
of cold.
Well, this is apparently
Like-
a grim world out there. I didn't expect to go out on a little field trip for a little festival that we do and come back to my house gone.
I guess, yeah, that is fair. So did you guys go with Bernard and then he stayed behind in the village?
Bernard, as soon as we heard as soon as he heard the sound, turned into an animal and rushed out into the woods.
Okay, so you guys were catching up.
We never, we I knew where I was going. I was heading up here.
So you did. So you said your home is destroyed, but you didn't even check.
Came to a mountain overpass, the overhang that looked down over the village enough to see the entire thing on fire. It was pretty obvious from there.
Yeah.
Hey,
you-
hey, like
Okay.
people deal with things differently.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to understand if they were at the village or not, or they saw
We
it.
all made the
Sorry.
decision that we were going to leave anyway after the festival. So, it's not a huge difference to us other than be good to know if our families were safe, but,
Yeah.
Who was their parent? Did I see them get out?
Well,
Uh,
Teddy should know Veronica, right?
The town's not that big. It's reasonable for me to think that I
you
would
would
just.
you would know
Yeah, I
all
guess.
of their parents. Um uh you're not sure? Cuz I don't did you see everyone who got out or
No, I
Uh,
mean,
If they took the northern exit, I probably saw them.
I would say notably the only person you guys confirmed to see killed was Father Daniel. That's like, other than that, everyone else
Well, that's
is-
not strictly true, but we're not telling you about the other one.
of the people in the village, the villagers.
we don't
They
know
might-
what happened between Bernard and that one guy.
I mean, we've also seen like multiple children get captured.
Yeah, if
but-
only we knew the outcome of what happened with Bernard and that one guy.
Yeah, no. If only anyone here knew.
All right.
Only.
You could have just left me hanging, but I guess.
Well, they might be fine. The only person that we know for sure is dead is Father Daniel.
Yeah. But okay, but yeah. So your plan is like, what are you doing here? Are you gonna talk to the council? What are you talking to them for? Are you just notifying them what happened?
They
like we are?
they did say in
No,
seemed you
yeah.
forgot. They said they're seeking aid in transporting, getting transportation.
Where are you planning to go?
Veronica wants to go out to the mountains, see if her folks made it out there.
And what do you want to do?
I just want to see the world. So from there, we'll stop by there and then maybe end up in the land of mind and body. Short
Hmm.
short journey from there. Who knows? Maybe we go to the desert. Experience life,
Yeah.
live a little bit. We were trapped in that
Richard?
town for 18 years. Because we'll see what's out there.
I hear you.
I mean,
Richard,
trapped is an interesting way of saying grew up in a place, but Yeah, you're free to go wherever you want.
You didn't feel at all trapped in the fact that if you got even a couple miles outside of the village, your parents would yell at you?
I had a nice home life.
Yeah,
I went on
that
trips.
that requires them to find out that you did that if you weren't supposed to, and I went on multiple trips with my parents.
I know what you mean, Cal. Don't worry.
By the way, he said we all plan to leave the village. When he says that, you can tell that that especially Teddy, you can tell Richard was not planning to leave the village.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so once he's done, I'm gonna look over at Richard and just say, Richard, what is your plan?
He hits you with like 1,000-yard stare for like 10 seconds, and then goes, just gonna go to mountains, the world,
You know what? You don't gotta answer me if you don't feel comfortable doing so.
Ah, man, it's all good,
Are you sure?
I'm
feel
gonna
like
walk
maybe you
over
should
and
just-
hand him something I salvaged from the rubble. I don't know if it don't mean anything, but it's something from the village.
Yeah.
Here. I don't remember exactly, but I got this from the north side of town after the attack. Hopefully it'll bring you some comfort.
I'm gonna hug him.
Appreciate it. It'll work out. It might not have been the plan originally, but it's the plan now.
I'm gonna pat him on the back of the head, and I want to see if I can. This might be hard. This is the kind of thing with being a growing mind mage where I think I'm doing something nice that I might just fucking like fry his brain.
Oh boy.
But let's try it. I want to try to see. I'm going to do this because it's what Teddy thinks he will help this person, but I am realizing in doing it, it might legitimately like stunt him in moving on. I want to try to like give him like embed in his mind a place he can like a memory he can like very easily recall and go to when he wants to.
Mhm.
Of like a like like you have your happy place. I want to give him like a very vivid happy place.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I was thinking rolling mind empathic and my new mind ability dream.
Okay.
I was gonna take a different approach to this, but magic, I guess.
Well, when you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah, especially people's heads.
I mean, yeah.
Planting a happy place sounds so questionably
Yeah, and like
motivated.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
it
is
does.
the point.
I know. I'm just I'm processing.
Honestly, just because it makes the roll look sillier, I'm gonna burn my D6 desperation die because I so deeply empathize with him. I want him to I want this for him. and it means I get to roll 4d6. I am going to burn an energy to reroll that.
I really wish you didn't.
I really wish you.
There we go. Okay, I'm gonna burn 2 insight tokens to re-roll my to explode my mind d6.
As I'm just sitting here like, when are we going?
I fucking.
we have
adore
been
the,
here
the
for like
idea.
maybe an hour at close at this point. We are not meaningfully progressed in any way.
No, we're socializing with characters.
Yeah.
We could be socializing with the
Yes.
other character.
Yes.
Who else? There
Yes.
is
I
like a
exploded
crowd,
it
we
with
don't know
another
anybody.
insight.
This is not a criticism of you, Flores.
This is,
No,
Uh,
I'm just
Yes!
asking the question
Yes!
of like where.
I will ruin
I'll tell
this
you later,
man.
Flores.
Aye.
I burned my last insight token.
Anyway, I'm just gonna say it is extremely horrid of Teddy to just walk up, grab this man in a hug, but grab him and then just imbue a memory inside of him.
Yeah, so what is this a real? Is this something he actually remembers, or are you just giving him a fake happy memory?
No, I am giving him. I think I give him. I
I think
Dude,
you can
do
just
I give him,
recreate
like,
the
a
town
month?
mentally.
Fucking Shawl, save your asshole! Fucking just blasted him.
like a nearly 40. Yeah. So are you
Well,
finding a real memory of his?
I'm giving him. I don't know if I can give. I'm like
What do you
giving
want
him.
to happen?
I'm giving him like his memory, my memory of like the town on like a day, and like that he can just walk around in as it happened and interact with people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So not to, you know, no obvious things happen from this. It is there. It is for him to find whenever he needs it.
And I like smile at him. And I'm like, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 energy, because I feel like that was and
Yeah.
he probably also feels equally drained out of nowhere. As I have just implanted
so
this
effective,
mental
he just
cyst.
falls over.
When you need it, I think you can just like later tonight, just think about home, and yeah, it'll get better. We gotta look out for each other. And I'll pat him on the shoulder, and then I'll walk back to Llewellyn and Miko and Liam.
Yeah, what he said, Richard. I'll just also pat him on the other shoulder in a like slightly awkward way of just like,
Like
all
I'm
right.
all, like I also did walk over to hand Richard the fucking
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
thing.
So I guess then I'm walking over to Miko and Liam then.
I will be following.
All right, and like before you can even leave, a person walks out and says, "The group of one Frank Stein." Looking for the
That would
group
be
of one
Frank
Oh,
Stein.
oh yeah, that's us.
Stein.
That's us.
I don't think it's us actually. There's no N in the middle.
No, I did say that.
Yeah,
You don't know
yes.
anything about
The person doing the announcement didn't say the N,
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
which is
my
what
bad,
Forrest was
my bad.
riffing on.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
My bad.
different Frankenstein.
It's Frank
Someone
Steiner.
large and green actually stands up and walks forward. Their
And
body science.
he says he looks at that guy and goes, "Not you. You're under monster."
Well, let's get going then. My
Yes.
posse is coming along.
Yes, of course. Whole group can meet
Uh,
at once.
Yeah.
Listed as a shared complaint. He leads you in, and you're seeing like slowly
See you later, guys.
as you walk past the line. You know, every once in a while, you enter into the main chamber room, and there's a bunch of places where the line splits off into different council rooms that are, you know, you notice based on how slowly a group is taken into any of these rooms that if you had to wait in line, it was probably 2 days before you saw anyone. But you
So, time to say things, Miko.
There is a meeting happening, but
Thank you,
you do
Frank.
get vibes of thank
Thank
Hell
you very
yeah.
much, Miko. That was-
from Llewellyn.
I'll thank you, Frank. Thank you so much for
Oh,
making
yeah.
the process faster.
and so
Frankly,
guess,
I am happy.
Good one.
real quick, the background will still be the village, but we now are gonna go back to the scene where everyone is here for the chatting. Very chatty zone. There.
Oh, now I gotta click this.
So you are taken up a
Miko
flight
is
of
so
stairs and sort of into a big chamber where there's like this ornate like gold inlay into the wood of the door, but it seems like unlike a door that is made of carved wood, it does still feel alive to any of you that have connections to plants, and in fact swings open on its own as you approach. And you are brought to a sort of raised zone where all of this marble white wood is built into there's a sort of central standing area on the ground level, and raised above you 15 feet in a semicircle are the members of the council. The two straight ahead, Miko recognizes from your time visiting here, and one of them Liam recognized.
Do they seem to recognize me?
Absolutely.
Cool.
In fact, the first words give it is so Frank, is it?
Yeah. Remember?
Oh, I remember. I don't remember Frank, but I remember.
Well, that seems like that it seems like your mistake, if anything.
As I'm sure you know, Frank here has always been a bit of a jester.
I have some memory of that, yes. So, in your own words, what brings you?
Jin?
I would like to defer this to the people that have a clearer memory
Okay, I just...
Okay.
We're here to level a complaint.
Our village was attacked and destroyed, and in the attack as well there was an energy user that by the way, out of character, what was our village's name?
Riverhaven.
Riverhaven.
All right, so I would have included our village. Riverhaven was attacked and destroyed fairly completely. Its population scattered. A number of the councils, or not the council, its elders were killed, and there was energy user involved in the destruction of the city itself, or the town itself.
So just one energy user, or was it several energy? And
There were more people involved in the attack. We don't know if any of them were energy users. One was an animal tuned bearing this mask. I'm going to take the wolf mask out and present it to them.
And
I
the man says, but of course there was not several energy users. You would know greatly. No group of energy tuned has made it that far north. None have even made it past Stone where your brothers. He's
Would I
pointing
know
back.
where that is?
You I think you would all know where that is.
Like, is that the rock? Is what?
Yes.
It
Like, I just make sure
would
that
read.
I, as a, cause I'm like,
And anyone who wants to roll
The Phoenix Rock.
Yes, the Phoenix Rock. Anyone who wants
Do
to
we
roll...
understand the Phoenix guy as our brother?
No, that was him glancing at Miss Arts.
Okay.
Your
It-
brother that you've never.
yeah,
brother.
like they are sitting next to each other, and he turned to face her in
Alright,
doing
Oh,
that.
okay.
what are we rolling to make that connection?
You are rolling to make the connection on. You are rolling in an awareness to check if you count. You clock something else.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like one. I'm gonna give you guys for free that you all know that technically speaking, that's no longer there.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. By the way, remember
Okay.
your D8s, gentlemen.
Oh,
Oh well. Fucking God.
that in
damn
that
it.
case, I need to add that. Hold on. So I got a 13 total.
Guess I'll just do it this way. So Ninja,
Um,
I'm gonna add
would-
the D8 to my free.
So considering this is an awareness check, would search apply here?
No.
Okay, I just needed to
Yeah.
check.
Good,
Does
good
this count
check.
as lore?
Not technically? No.
Fuck.
Does this count as lies?
No.
You know
Well-
what?
Oh,
Yes.
hell
What?
yeah.
Hey, you. First off, we literally have to ask. So that
No, I'm not questioning the player side.
It's
I'm
just how is it a
questioning the
lie?
GM.
Mhm.
In its strictest. So that
I
means
do
two people
like that
got
I
13.
don't clock it.
I didn't clock it at all.
Yeah.
But I do like that I help other people clock it.
As the one taking notes, I hate this position.
So Llewellyn and Nico both clock like the reaction on her face is like a like taking a jab that was clearly a jab, like, but she knows something he doesn't, and
Yeah, of
is
course she
hiding
does. Look
that
at her
on her
smile.
face.
Interesting. Can we communicate this through the mind blink?
Yes.
I have already done so.
Okay.
All right.
What does this man have any like outward indicators as to his attunement?
He's
Right.
made of broccoli.
We're gonna switch back over to him, and I'm gonna
I did not see him.
yeah.
This is
I
a
am sorry.
very
Here he is.
tired man.
Can we tell what he is attuned to?
Other than other than plant.
Nah, he's actually the secret is this guy's energy mind tuned. He just looks like this.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's body.
It's
and that's what
unrelated.
happens. This is what happens to the body.
Yeah, this is what happens when you eat too much creatine.
So hey, where was that in relation to the town? The rock?
The rock is slightly south of town. Like it's, you took like an hour walk.
So everybody in the mental like feels Llewellyn fighting to not mouth off to this dickhead that he's clearly wrong and doesn't even know where anything is because that's further south towards the energy lands
Yes.
than the town that just got attacked.
Yes, he's saying that no group of energy people has made it further north than that rock.
So that's beyond the village.
Yeah, so he's implying that it would be crazy to even ask if it was a group of energy people because they are monitoring for that on the border. Like one can get through sometimes.
So I saw the lightning guy, and I had also we had seen the surveillance, and I had done the long range scry, and having been in the town
Mhm.
as the fighting was happening. I guess is there like just a quick like mental tally I can do? Obviously I didn't see everyone fight, but was it just the one guy throwing lightning? Like, can I just try to piece together from what I saw like a loose collection of like what abilities were on display?
So I would just say, like, there's not even really a role about this. Thinking back, the way I have described it, each one, like, given that Llewellyn has given you the data point that the person in a wolf mask was animal tuned, each of the masks imply a type of magic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, are we as a group gonna explain like the 7 mask and the fact
Well,
that there's, like,
before we do that, can I level some righteous anger at these two? Because I
Oh.
feel like they just implied that they had some idea that this was going to happen and did nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, you just said that they were monitoring for energy people.
but sometimes some slip by.
Yeah.
No,
in this
but why
case.
would they be monitoring for that if they didn't know that there was some threat going on?
It's time for righteous indignation.
Yeah. So I say that to them. Like, what the fuck?
Mm.
I know it may be hard to tell from your tiny village, but there are bigger things going on than the fear of an attack of a small town. There's a lot of stress.
Extant town.
There's a lot of strain between our relationship and those of our neighbor to the south. So we are monitoring for any declarations of war, large scale conflict. or anything that could come from them trying to take the borderlands between our nations, as they claim that it is needed for them to be able to farm and sustain themselves. That is what we are looking for.
So your last sentence is that you are monitoring whether or not they try to grab land so that they can survive.
Or, I mean, well,
They're
that
trying to take our lands from us, yeah.
Okay.
I
would-
so I will caution you in your head that we that's geopolitics.
This is above our pay
Yeah,
grade.
no. I'm
N-
going to go
no,
in on
no, no,
this.
like no, please do not.
I'm going to
I will
ignore-
attack you in your brain right now if you like
You
try to
will
go in on
attack me in my brain.
I am actively attacking you in your
Yeah,
brain.
no. If this mental, I don't know if I can do this too. This is Lone's like, no, this is not what we're here for. This is massively beyond scope.
I'm gonna try to put him to sleep through the mental link that he enabled me to have with him earlier.
Can I roll to break the link?
You can roll to break the link, yeah.
Yeah, but surely I get to shunt him first.
I mean, are we gonna roll for it? Are we gonna roll whether or not I break first?
Okay, so what? So how is this happening?
Yeah, I'm asking the DM, like, if that is a thing.
Well,
that will
one, I
happen.
wasn't expecting PvP, you fuckers.
I wasn't expecting it either.
You're trying to do something that will fuck over the entire group. It's like, no, I'm going to ignore the
Okay,
advice.
how the
of-
fuck is one question gonna hurt the entire group? Riddle me that one, Batman.
I am
He's
asking about
literally
energy people.
antagonizing them.
Yeah, and this guy knows that this is some random child that walked up here and
Our
had his
group has
village
also been
destroyed.
quite rude, like generally just whatever towards him anyway. It's not as if I was the
Like,
first
how
one
is
with
this
lip.
any worse than the question about, like, hey, you knew this was gonna happen, what the fuck was that
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, but this
You've
is
made
like
your bed, lie in it. Fucking roll, you roll
Yeah,
mind magic, and just mind magic, that dice only. And Liam can roll, which stat resists mind? Probably mind. Probably
I was gonna
mind
say, I would
resists
assume
mind.
Oh God, help me!
Well, maybe if he's got a rather thick skull,
Also,
he could
I'll
roll
remind you
body.
guys, you have desperation dice. Fuck it, just spend them all. Who cares? Fight each other to the death. Kill each other right in front of this guy.
Alright,
That'll
I'm
really
gonna
help the
add
team.
That'll change his life forever.
I'm gonna add an insight token to roll again.
What do you mean,
Killing
explode?
myself in front of the
Or-
council to change the
Oh,
trajectory.
I'm gonna
of their
roll
life.
again. Okay. So that is now a D12.
So this is 16 right there, right? Is that what the
5, 8,
actually-
8.
Oh, it's higher.
Oh,
than
sorry, 6, 8, 8. 6, 8, 8.
680. 4.
so
I'm probably still gonna get fucked because I'm trying to break free from a mind goblin.
so what am I specifically doing right here? Is this
Well,
rolling
You're trying to put him to sleep. Apparently, that's what you. That's the call out you made. That was the direct
Okay.
move.
so
So I'm gonna look at the skills and I'm gonna figure out if I believe any of them.
I would push for mind dream.
I'll give you mind dream.
Use my D4. My D12 exploded.
Okay.
Is that a draw?
That is a draw. It is
Holy
an exact
fuck.
draw.
Holy fuck!
Wait, what's the D4 from?
He rolled a D4 desperation die.
Oh right.
And as a draw, he fully resisted it. Your ability to put him to sleep.
Fuck it. I'll burn an energy to re-roll my D20.
Okay, and now I need to realize that, so you beat him by 8. So
I can just add like the beginning of a sentence before I go to sleep.
technically speaking, I'm not going to allow you to put somebody to sleep with a single roll. Like it's an attack. It would probably interface with one of the health systems. I would assume probably you're trying to drain enough energy that he passes out. I think you take 2 pips of energy damage.
What does that mean? Where am I taking that off?
Where you spend energy, take 2 of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, all right. So, fours. As a player, taking this back, stepping it into in character between you and me, drawing it, trying to take this back away from a thing that the DM needs to agitate or needs to be involved
Advocate?
with. As you start to do this, and you had you get your righteous indignation and this desire to do, you feel my panic come over the line, and you like my mental wave of like slam into you, trying to pacify you and lull you into like sleep. And you do get slightly tired. You feel yourself get drained. And I'm just like, please, not now. We don't want to get upset. We could talk about this later.
I'll also say that additionally, if you wish to, you can break the mental link. That one's free.
Oh, me?
Yes. Or you can leave it up.
Okay.
It's your choice.
So here's the first thing. Like I said, let's roll it back. As players, I want to clarify something. I was simply asking questions about how their system works. I wasn't asking anything in an agitating tone. I was trying to just generally, my character is trying to just learn a little bit more about what their relation with the energy people is like. That
That is not even remotely how it came off.
I wasn't trying to actively like antagonize them.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
say
was
you guys
trying
jumped to
to ask
conclusions on what he
questions.
was gonna do. I'm pissed off. Like, you can hear it in my voice. I've already had, like, we're trying to move it back to where I didn't have to solve. I have to come up with a way that this system works now, that you all just attack each other. You know, it's great. Over
It's
him
fine.
maybe saying some words and maybe irritating one guy.
It's
Hey.
fine. I take the damage.
Yeah,
I
that's where we're
keep
at.
the link.
Hmm.
And I simply just don't ask my question. I just wanted you guys to be aware. I was just trying to ask some stuff about the whole energy thing. That's all.
I don't. Would you like to take a break?
No, I'm
we
fine.
don't have time for a break.
Ninja is probably more agitated than I am. I'm fine with it.
Yes, that is what I sense as well.
I'm agitated, but I'm an adult. I can continue to, we will move past it.
Yes.
If I was annoyed, I would just say I don't want to take that mental damage. I would just explain myself. like go even further into like this is what I wanted to do, and like blah 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 reason A
Yeah.
B whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, all I was doing is asking him a question. Then your character took that as me insulting them, and then you took an action, and I took
Yeah,
a
and
reaction.
we
That's
were
the end of it. That's all
yeah.
we have to do.
Yes, and we were role playing it.
So let's just
And-
leave it at our characters,
Yes.
Yeah. So the
and I
man
will take
says,
the energy damage.
the man like says to you, and what are you hoping to gain telling us about your village's destruction? What recourse are you expecting from the council?
So I'll kind of stagger back, kind of holding myself up with and Callum up as well, just because like we're both a little, and I'll kind of gesture Maiko and Liam forward so that they can or not. Basically, I'm a little spent right now, so like other people can talk. But it's like
Yeah.
our village is fucked. We need help.
Yeah. So
You
Liam.
should mention the people that were kidnapped, right?
Yeah. So Liam.
I thought we already did.
No, we didn't get to that part.
Liam rocking like a semi headache now. It just like basically drops whatever he was gonna say, and here's the question from the counselor. And God, this is where my personal memory is kind of shit. So what happened in the village? Like what do we know about what happened there that we want to share with them? Can we just like compile right now what we all know into like one speech? I know that Bernard asked I don't know if he just asked me, but he met me and asked me to personally come here and explain this to the council. I will mention that to the council that this guard who was posted in our village specifically asked us to go here and inform you of the destroyed village, and whatever you wanted to do with that information is perfectly up to you. But we would also hope that perhaps you would be willing to just be ready for more people from said village to show up and possibly look for refuge or some kind of assistance in finding some living and some food while they're recovering.
In the mental link, I'm just gonna say that's a better idea. We don't know for sure if we want them to get the kidnapped people back yet.
That's true. We should at least try to make sure that anyone coming here from Riverhaven can receive aid.
Yes.
Just to clarify, so we're sticking with what I said just now
Yeah.
to the council member.
Yes.
Okay.
At least that's my vote.
And we're not mentioning the kidnappers?
I would say we should not.
We hold off on that.
Yeah.
Do we want did we get into okay, so we know we know somehow. We're not going to explain how, but we know that there were 7 people all donning 7 different masks. We know that because we saw it through a monitor. But do we want to still play it off as us only knowing what we saw in the village, or do we want to specifically
Yeah, no,
detail
we
the
we
7?
only saw it in the village.
Okay. Which one did I see when me and Bernard was dealing with stuff? Ninja.
Oh, the one that Bernard went off to fight?
Yeah.
The one in the wolf mask.
So that was the one that Llewellyn had the mask of.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
I guess the I guess if the implication is that a mask is tied to each element, is there being Like the only like bugaboo is energy. It's not like if there was a tech person involved, they would care
Well, there
extra,
is a
right?
weird thing here where 7 people donning each element showed up and collectively decided to attack this village. And that is weird. Yes, the energy person mattered, but it was weird nonetheless that 7 people collectively attacked. Whether what element, whatever they had, it could have been 7 energy or 7 of different elements, like it was, and they still attacked the village.
So I would say, based on what Nico knows, there aren't. It's not technically true to say that 7 different types of magic were there. As one of them seemed to not have magic.
Yeah, so over the link, I'm going to ask, should we mention that they were saying something about trying to, because they did in the village mention something about an experiment and set it and freeing them.
We could mention it to try and gauge if they know about it somehow, because we know a bit about it now, but we can
Yeah.
try and gauge how much they know if we mention that they mentioned it without
Yeah,
specifically
I would maybe mention that. Oh, they said something about an experiment. I wouldn't go into too much detail.
Yeah, no, it's just they
Just
said something about
like
an
Liam said,
experiment
just
and
gauge.
yeah, no, just something about an experiment and freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a safe way to prod.
I do want
Also
to
saying
just
that
make
in the link.
yeah. I do also just want to make a note, Ninja, that I wanted to specifically make a point of like 2 points in the initial speech of like number one, Bernard like trusted that we come speak to you for some reason, so we must assume that you have a reason, like you have something that you can help us with. But even if you do not, uh perhaps you can at least help the people who might arrive from this tragedy. And that's the 2 points that I wanted to get across to the counselor.
So is it just aid to the refugees that you wish, and nothing in terms of a rebuilding effort for Riverhaven?
I think that is up to the people that live there.
And you don't?
Not anymore. I
This
can't speak
is
for everyone
not
else, but
just because of the destruction of the village. We would have no longer been residents of Riverhaven, regardless of the attack.
I look at
Oh.
you like with the very similar look to Richard, but
1,000-yard
What's
stare
that mean?
turn.
Oh yeah.
I'm just sitting here like, I'm leaving.
We
Like,
were all leaving. Guaranteed. Trust
Yes,
me, Mr.
all of
Leaf
us, and
President.
just,
We
like,
were all
dragged Teddy
going to
forward.
leave.
All of us, big group hug. Teddy's despairing.
Yes, that sounds familiar. I remember hearing of some weird tradition in that village of such. We can grant some
they
resources.
say weird tradition, and I just look at the necklace like.
Well, one, he doesn't know anything about the necklace thing. That's
that's animal.
Okay, good.
That's animal
Good.
feel, not the plant.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we got that together. Yeah, me and Plant
Nah,
Boy
the
don't
council
know.
member also has a necklace around him. Wolfsbane put that on him, and he couldn't take it off. They're boys.
The tree guy's like, dude, I don't know why randomly people get to cut in line. It's,
well, no.
in Plant Kingdom, you have to actually respect bureaucracy. It's the
Yeah.
animal people
in
are like,
Plant
nah,
Kingdom,
you're
you
cool.
can get a formal letter from a councilman that like has a seal and everything.
But no, for animals, it's like, nah, you pass the vibe check. Here's a deer leg.
I saw you when you were like younger. That's cool, I guess. Here, have
No,
free
it's because
passes.
I was so special and cool.
Yeah. Me too.
We
I am
can
also sporting a
allocate
necklace.
resources to any refugees who come here, and if any of people we will leave people to watch if any elders of your village come by and wish to start a rebuilding effort, and will allocate resources as such. Is that all that you came here for today?
Do we mentioned the experiments next, right? To like
Th-
gauge
They
a
we
reaction.
mentioned what the dudes there said they were trying to prod.
Yeah, so we mentioned that, and we try to gauge a reaction.
All right,
From-
everyone, roll your deck for that.
With your D8.
What is that, check aware?
Yeah.
Well,
Just
most of us
aware.
get the extra D8.
Wow. A
No,
2.
Liam, he chose not to sever it.
I said it, and then I just said, "My job is done."
You like say that and you like look straight at the floor.
No, I looked straight at Wolfsbane, just it's like into her eyes, but not even in an inquisitive way. I just like go like, "Oh, there she is. There's the woman. Is she so cool?"
As I'm just like scrambling to get insight tokens, because I have not been able to roll that much this session.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess I should get an insight.
yeah, you
token. I keep
you
forgetting to get
definitely get an
myself.
insight token, buddy.
If you rolled a 2, you just go ahead and add 1 if you have a 2.
Add 5 insight tokens for that horrible double
Describe
one.
what these people look like, by the way. I only know what Broccoli and like Gray Lady look like.
All right, so there are 7 members of the council.
Is Gray Lady the youngest, by the way? Or
She is the youngest. She looks like the youngest person on the council. Yes.
okay, so it's like you gotta. It's kind of like you gotta be like a little up there to get on the council. Maybe the younger
Typical.
council is more, or
She's-
the lower council is like a young man's game.
Her hair isn't like gray from being like old. She is.
Oh.
She looks maybe 40 years old at most.
Okay.
But she's, been through a lot of scars.
Can I like pause the game for a second?
Mhm.
Was her hair supposed to be gray? Because I think I made her blonde.
Well,
Is that
it's
blonde?
kind of a platinum.
Okay. Unpause. Did it?
Like, I think it's based on what they're seeing. If you want to make her more blonde, you can make her more blonde.
No, it was fine.
Like, it's just the resource on screen.
Yeah, no, I thought I just missed a clue in the description.
No. You got it right.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, reel back how old she appears to people.
She is like crazy shattered up and like on her shin. Like holy fuck.
What?
The spear meta is strong.
No, like her shin is crazy.
Yeah.
She's a chat.
She also has a spear.
I just
She
noticed
does.
too. Do none of us have facial hair at all?
I actively shave.
We all do apparently.
Yeah, so to give you the recap of the other people in the room, which one great question. Every DM's favorite question is the other 5 guys who I didn't
Well,
make
if you're gonna make a
assets
council of
for.
7, you're gonna need 7
You know what?
names.
You could just straight up have said the other ones aren't here.
No,
now.
they're here. They just like notably these 2 run things, and the other people on the council are just there to vote. Like you realize these 2 are basically heads of state, and the other parts of the council are just checks and balances. That's
Wow, you would think that being in the higher
Modern
council would make
politics.
you give it more of a shit.
Well, they could get names off stream.
yeah. I'm not giving you their names. I'm gonna give you descriptions for
Hey,
them.
what? Hey, speaking of every DM's favorite question, what color is the room we're in?
I already said it's
You gave
it's
that.
marble white. It's made of marble white wood.
Sorry, a lot has happened.
I
I
agree.
needed to make sure.
But I'm just, I know you're trying to get me, but we've been there, and I can tell you again, marble white room. It's wood that is like notably like too like it doesn't naturally become this color. It is infused with magic to make it such. It's like if they somehow found these people know what a Roman government building looked like and wanted to rebuild it out of wood.
That's actually
Nice.
so funny.
Pretty cool. When are we gonna get the Julius Caesar stabbing at 7?
So on the left-hand side of the plant people, there are 3 extras of them. One is a woman who appears to be in her like late 60s. Not nearly as, this guy's got a lot of tree stuff to him, right? But all 3 of the people on the left have the ears that end in different sort of plant. Hers sort of grow out to cherry blossoms.
Or what?
Her ears, because like normally instead of the hair, like this guy is real plant tuned, right? He's been on the council the longest. You all don't know, not all of you know this, but like this was lore given to Miko, so we could pass it along if you want. He's been here over a decade on the council.
Yeah, let's do that.
Then there's sort of like a guy who doesn't have any of the obvious plant stuff. He's sort of, just brown haired, just sort of a guy. He's a little bit on the buff side, but he's on the plant side of the council. And then there's one who's sort of like a scrawny, hard to really tell because like their body has gone full plant. They don't really have masculine or feminine features. They just look sort of like if a bush was a person.
I like them.
Bush as person.
On the right-hand side of the council,
we stand Bush. The
There's
Bush
a-
administration.
there's only 2 other
It's actually Bush Jr. Bush Sr. was the head counselor for the plant before Broccoli Man.
That is his name, Broccoli.
the 2 other animal people, just a huge hulking guy who like facially kind of looks like a walrus. Like he doesn't straight up have the like walrus
Jamie Hyneman.
mustache. Like,
I don't know if you can look vaguely like a walrus.
Well,
No, I kind of get it.
It's
I kinda
it's
get
like he hasn't like there are animal tuned people whose faces look like that of a walrus. This is a man who has the human features that approximate a walrus.
It is in fact
Jamie,
just this man.
it's that's
just Jamie Hyneman.
except
Massive ass nose.
if you were to like just cut that face out and slap it right onto like a bodybuilder.
I was just trying to have a face right.
Yeah,
I get the
they're
vision.
just-
I get the
They're
vision.
just normal.
Yeah.
and then the other councilman looks facially like a weasel. They're really short. They're just sort of like they share weasel-like tendencies. What you think that means of their characters up to you to decide.
Honestly, I got a description. It's fucking. It's the one dude from Zootopia that hangs out with the fox.
That guy actually almost has fur. Like he's more animal-like than even either of the other 2. So you now that we've gone through my have to describe 5 characters gauntlet, you did mention to him about the mentioning an experiment, and let's loop back to the rolls. Who got the highest? What was the highest number on that?
80. I don't know. Let me check. Oh,
Are
me.
we missing a
13.
roll? Callum, you need to roll.
Yeah, Callum hasn't rolled that yet.
Uh,
You have a D8 and it's awareness.
Callum chooses to fail.
You can add a D8 to that, by the way. Explode that to another D8.
Callum wins.
Um,
Callum, while not paying attention, snaps back in an avatar state.
Liam and Teddy both get an insight token. None of you recognize any look in their face like they are, like, they seem confused, like an
I
experiment.
found Counselor Bush.
You just like looked at them and you're like, that's the only. Honestly, that's the only.
His name is
character.
Jeb.
Yeah. I intrinsically have a deep and profound trust for Counselor Bush.
Make them the final bad guy.
I have a deep appreciation for the weasel.
He will sacrifice himself in the final battle.
No!
I posted in general.
Yeah, so all three of you don't really clock acknowledgement that they knew experiments were going on at all. Like, what even the context is not known to them. That's
Okay.
strange.
Well,
You-
that's the third. What about the other two of us?
No, that was the people who passed.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the people who didn't
passed.
pass were too distracted by a bushman to
And a
even
weasel.
and a weasel to even begin to read faces.
Okay.
We just now noticed the rest of
and,
the
and,
council.
and in fact,
As it should be.
Liam, you believe that the weasel knows deeply. You think that he might be the mastermind.
Oh shit!
Hey,
Lucky
Uh,
weasel.
are any of their names on the staff list? I'm not asking what their names are.
No, they're not.
Okay. Like this is an easy question. because
One,
don't
you
need
would
actual names.
know this because they would have had their job as a member of the High Council listed in there, and no members of the High Council were listed. The only people
I
who
just wanted to double
ran
check.
in circles with that was, Liam's dad, who retired.
Okay.
Well, said that something about freedom. Were they trying to free the experiment? Were the context like?
It seems they were trying to free some sort of experiment from context, but I'm not really sure what they were talking about.
Oh, all right. We will monitor the situation, and if any further information on an experiment comes to light, we'll investigate that thoroughly.
Wait. Given that might actually be more deeply concerning given like the context of freeing something, given what they know is trapped in that area, like given that like
Yeah,
oh hey,
there-
they got rid of the town, now they can maybe go free something. But anyway,
What are you meaning?
Over the link, I'm going to ask them if we should tell them about that, how that rock they mentioned earlier isn't there anymore.
I was gonna
no.
leave that be. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's a private conversation with Wolfsbane, maybe.
So what I'm going to say is no, but turn off the illusion. So they notice.
I
I
can't
mean,
do
at this
that.
point, I feel like saying anything that might escalate them into action isn't a bad idea.
I mean, I could do it, but I'd have to go
But
back.
Yeah.
I'm outvoted, I would say.
Wait, so what are we doing? What's the play here?
I think we're just
Exactly.
kind of done.
Yeah, I
Are we
guess
done?
the
Because I was gonna add a
consensus is just accepting their nonchalance about the situation.
yeah. I was gonna add a final thing just to be like, oh, by the way, if you happen to meet, and I'll mention, oh fuck me, I forgot. Okay, Bernard or my dad or my mom. Like basically, I'm gonna name the people that I like find most important. If if the town happens to like get them, or the capital, like they come to the capital, that they can maybe put out a notice that like, hey, Liam Moore, your son, or this kid who you helped, like came by and yada yada yada, etc. etc. Like put some like people with names on notice to be like, if they show up, give them some information that we are safe and we've been here.
If they ask council, we will keep record of you and who all has been here in order to help refugees. Come into contact.
Actually, I wonder, is that interesting to them at all? That, I mean, it doesn't matter. It means nothing to me, but I vaguely remember through out of game context that his father used to be someone vaguely
I was a low
of
council
it.
member. Or sorry, he was.
Honestly,
a low
they're
council
more
member.
interested in Miko, who their father was
Yeah.
on this council like 10 years ago. not 10,
Yeah.
but more like
I'm
18 years ago.
I'm basically
Like-
the family that worked in the office while he was in the VIP section.
Yeah. Liam's dad would deal with like, hey, this guy stole this guy stole my cart. I didn't steal his cart. Like those sorts of low level disputes.
I'm gonna steal your head if you don't give back his card.
Like Nico's father made like was on this council doing votes.
Yeah.
And actually now we will hold the vote. All in favor of the support for the Riverhaven refugees, vote aye or nay. And they all vote. They vote unanimously in support of it. And
Say if he said there wasn't, I was going to just immediately challenge the fucking Councilor Wolfman for their seat.
Are there human rights in this world?
and this Arch says, "All right, you will be given a room and board, and we will give you some amount of resources as would be expected of refugees." One of
Thank
the people who brought you up will lead you to where you will stay.
Out of curiosity, before we leave, where can we find you, Mrs. Wolfbane?
I'm here on the council most of my time.
Well,
and
outside of
then
work.
down in the village below.
Wait, there's not up in the tree?
Yeah, no, the
Or
capital,
do
the
you only
animals
meet in
are
the tree?
the ground.
After my time here on the council is done, I will be back. Village at ground level.
I
much do you
look
have,
like exasperated at them and then back at my friends, and I'm like, as we're being led away, and I'm like, why do they? It's just like quietly arguing, but like
Oh,
quiet
I say
enough.
loud if you're
Well,
talking about.
I-
Go ahead and
I
say
You're
your
ask-
being sent away, so the volume
as
is getting
as we're
smaller and smaller.
leaving, but like in like it's a thing that like they hear, but like it's not directed at them, and it's like I'm fine
Yeah.
with them hearing it, but just like it's like wait, I thought what? Why are they meeting up in the tree? I thought we could have had this meeting on the ground.
Oh
I
yeah,
came
so
up-
the
we needed
plant
to meet
people.
the council, Teddy.
But you said there were more people in the council this time from the animal people.
No,
This is just how they are.
the plant people have the majority right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Woo!
The plant people are kind of dickheads about coming up into the tree and inconveniencing everyone else.
To be fair, this
I
is a,
make sure that I say this loud enough for the council to hear.
and I'll just give a snark remark. To be fair, this is a bitching council room, and then the door closes behind us.
Yeah. So, just sort of, the guy who brought you in was like, "All right, I can take you to room and board
Thank you.
provided. Are you preferring to get support from the plant or the animal people? Depend on where we put you."
Wait, sorry. Support?
Yeah, where do we want
You're-
to stay?
You're
with the animals?
refugees, right? You're gonna get resources.
Oh, I see. I see.
It's probably for the best if we stay grounded.
Hmm.
I look at
I'm
Liam and Maiko desperately.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna like pat Maiko on the shoulder.
Okay, okay. I'm
Thank you.
gonna just I'll probably head up back here when I'm just roaming on my own, but we can stay down below
All right,
for
down
our
below it
accommodations.
is. We have a place. So he wanders you through part of the city, past the line. You don't see the three that you had spoken to previously. They
He's
are
dead.
no. What? Yeah. Cal was sadly murdered right in front of you. His dead body.
Damn. L.
He leads you to one of the elevation platforms and is like, okay, so they're gonna send you down, and then you're going to turn east and travel about 5 trees that way, turn right, 6 trees, and you should see it from there.
Okay.
Do any of you not
That's
have? Do any of you not have one of these that he pulls out? He pulls out a series of like animal necklaces
You know what?
that
We
seem
would like
completely nondescript. Like
we would like 3 of those. Actually 2. Sorry. We would like 2 of those.
you would like, you need them.
Yes.
Like, can we
I'll
just
show
take all
mine.
three?
I will show mine as well, but I will indicate I will point towards Callum and Teddy and just be like, those 2 need one.
Do I still have mine?
Yes.
Well,
No, they
actually,
took-
only one of them technically needs, because I did. I think I gave Teddy the one I took off of the guy I killed.
Okay, good sir. We need one after thinking about it.
Are you sure you want to walk in wearing the necklace of a man who was
Like-
killed? Given the context you now have that they know who they belong to, it's an option. You might catch some eyes,
No, I
Okay,
definitely
with that
don't.
in mind,
Yeah.
with that in mind, maybe we need to, because I
Mhm.
want to get we essentially have
Just-
2.
Okay, we're just gonna
Wolfsbane
have whoever needs one
medallions.
walk forward so we can move on instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they hand you 2 of these nondescript animal necklaces that they're not even like fangs or
You know what?
anything cool. They are
would
like
this
but
I'll take
would
a
this
spare
work
one.
with human teeth?
no.
Can I get a spare one? Like, can I just ask for an extra one?
He hands you a 3rd one.
Thank you.
So before you guys travel down, are you gonna go collect the deer?
Well, the deer was waiting
Um,
downstairs, wasn't it?
Yes, but are you going to take it to the animal kingdom?
Is there a significant threat that this thing will get hunted and murdered?
If you walk in with it, probably not. You're not sure.
Yeah,
Llewellyn.
I'm. It's probably better if we bring it so that they know it's our, or at least that it belongs to someone and isn't
Yeah,
just
okay.
a wild animal.
Yeah, fair.
Available
Junior
to
gets to
hunt?
come. Junior gets to come
Alright.
along.
All right, so you do go collect that, and you follow the directions, and sort of under a canopy, like a mix between the light of the mushrooms and the torchlight, sort of gives a this is a bright area in this dark forest. As there's a series of tents and revelry that's going on, because given that they have to wait here for a couple weeks for the council to happen, the rest of the animal kingdom, the animal capital, just sort of takes us to a festival. They're not going out to hunt anything here because most of the hunting is done on the outskirts of the nation. So they're just you hear a lot of partying going on, and you see a guy guarding the not really a gate, but just the outskirts of the series of tents.
And of course, I must show up as a lion, as is tradition.
All right, how many you got here? What's your business? Are you locals or are you refugees? What's
Refugees.
Are those the only two people that come here?
Well,
We don't get a lot of tourists.
Yeah. Like, what's the purpose
would
of
be
your
provably false.
visit?
It's-
Business, pleasure?
It's the two people
War.
I'm told to let in right now.
Okay. Fair point.
You got necklaces?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 All right.
I say yes. I'm still in
Yeah.
line, or I will not show him a
You
necklace unless I am
liar.
Do you
explicitly
have
asked.
a necklace?
You have to realize that's normal for them. Some people do come back like that, and they can talk. It's how you know that that's
No.
not a lion, and that is in fact a guy who can
I
be a
just
lion.
love the context that the lion has a full necklace around its neck, and he's
No,
still
I don't.
asking it.
It's just been merged into the one, which is why I'm saying I
Sure,
just
no, I'm
say
just saying
yes.
that's my own mental image of
Yeah, I was
the
like,
comedy of the
all
situation.
right, makes sense.
Oh
And
shit! Should we have gotten a necklace for Junior?
is the deer one of you,
You-
or is it with you? Like, what's the vibe here?
He is
the deer
ours,
is
but
ours.
The deer is a deer.
the deer is in fact a deer.
The deer is
It isn't-
Junior, and Junior comes with us.
he like the fact that turned out to not be a person. His face changes to that of kind of shock. Like he's not gonna make it your problem, but it clearly surprises him that the deer's with you and not a person.
It is a magical deer, but yeah.
I'm just saying, like he's actually like, you have never made friends with the animals. How sad.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
Never
we are
met
really-
someone with a pet before.
We are
I mean-
really laying into this guard.
No, I'm not. I just told him, hey, it's with us, and it is a deer.
Yeah, he looks at you with the vibe of like,
Mama didn't let me keep the bush babies.
Oh,
that's not the feeling. It's the feeling of like, yeah, that's not how the like you.
If
That's not a
everyone
pet.
took their oh yeah,
That's
that is not a animal
Yeah,
that is
this
easily
is somebody like
domesticated.
walking up to you with like an actual real deer and like, this is my pet.
it's beyond
Yeah.
that, because you have to realize that if there's any group of people who know about these animals, it's the animal kingdom. And
Right.
you walked up with Jesus, and you're like, "This is my pet."
Yeah, it's like this is
To
a
be fair,
fully
I
grown
My
said
homie.
I implied that Jesus is my friend.
Yeah. I said
I said
it's
pet.
with us.
Yeah.
He said pet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone said like no it's like yeah, which is wild considering we've established this thing
Like,
has like
he-
fairly decent cognition.
He
Or,
is
like
he is sitting
This
there
thing
thinking
is
that
very cognizant.
like if this was a person who can use that form, that is extremely rare but possible. You walked up with an animal that would be like on the like the endangered
a
species
unicorn.
list and been like, this is my boy. I'm gonna take him in here.
Yeah. I mean, I did do that.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
true.
huge flex.
It's my guy.
yeah, this is our
Huh.
unicorn.
I mean,
day.
this is us rolling up with like Arceus to Palatown. It happens.
Basically.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was that one trainer that just did have a Heatran in line, right? Like
Yeah.
Me
Shit
and the
happens.
boys walking up with Rayquaza.
Rayqueezy boy.
All right, so if you're refugees, you're gonna go to the center of town. There's gonna be a big bonfire in the center of town. You're gonna walk quarter circle around it from this side. Go down that path on the right. You're quarter circle to the right, up and around on the right side. Then you're gonna go to the right. Walk down 3/10. There should be a blue one. Walk in there. They'll tell you the situation.
Thank you.
So you're just gonna
Walk,
follow
walk,
that.
walk.
We go, yeah. Walk,
Yeah.
walk, walk.
To put
Work,
it is
work,
it is a
work, work.
bonfire larger than any bonfire you've ever seen. These people are going off.
How hot is it?
How close do you get?
I mean, walking the way we walk, how close do we get?
You like there is probably a good 30-foot circle of area around it to walk,
Okay.
but you could get closer in theory.
How many people are closer?
Not many.
Mm.
There's a
Not
couple
ma-
people
not
dancing
many.
around it. But
Yeah.
like no.
I was gonna call them all pussies, but honestly, fair. Like not in character.
It's
I'm just saying.
it's hot. It's hot when you get within the normal circle distance
Yeah,
to
yeah,
walk
yeah, yeah.
around it. It's a big fire.
Yeah. So do we all follow the directions the guard gave?
Or do you get lost in the city?
I am following the directions.
Okay, you make
Right.
it to the blue tent. There's so there's you walk in. There's a lady sort of behind a table. Sort of desk thing that she's standing at. She's
I like
kind of
that the assumption is that we can like keep our mind as a collective unit on the directions.
I mean, our mind still kind of is a collective unit.
Yeah.
she has sort of
Did I
fox
break
ears.
out? I forgot.
No,
You
you
chose
chose
not to.
You
Okay,
chose
okay.
not to. You can freely at any time, any of you.
Yes. That was just a thing in the heat of the moment. If you
Yeah.
managed it before I like tried to sleep you.
Yeah.
Quickly and exit your mind before you get nuked.
She has fox ears. She looks up. It's like, okay, you staying in the nearby tents?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're tent 3. Tent 4. She looks at the deer.
That deer's with Miko.
I guess y'all want to share a tent or do you want individual?
How are we feeling?
I don't know if their relationship has progressed like that. How do you feel, Miko? I say completely jokingly in my head. Because once again, this person doesn't know that the deer is just a deer. Jin might be muted.
Jin is
Jin
muted.
is muted.
I'm back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Well, you have a question?
This was to the whole group.
Yeah, I'm asking. Do we want to
Like,
share
is it
some
one
rooms,
tent
are
or
we
is it
gonna
several
separate?
tents? What do you guys want?
Yeah.
I want
I
my own
like-
tent
Okay.
All right, and you want
Without the deer, or with the deer.
with the deer.
Okay.
put
You're
the
gonna take
deer
tent 7.
outside. It's the guard dog.
Yeah, everybody gets the feeling that like Leland doesn't really care which one he's assigned because he might end up just sleeping outside anyway.
I'll just to save space. I'll say that me and Llewellyn share one then, but like under the general assumption we'll probably never actually sleep together anyway.
All right, so you all get assigned tents. They're rather nice. They're spacious for even like the ones for like the there's ones for like a single person like is given to Callum and Teddy. Those ones larger than like the minimum size needed to house just one person. The 2-person tent is larger, and the one that allocates the size of a deer is even bigger than that. Several of these tents, actually, given that you said that you were going to share one with Llewellyn, who is in the form of a lion, is given you're given sort of one of the spaces that like they are used to having people who just even in tents decide to be a full animal.
Hell yeah, I got extra space.
Yeah, and all of us are pretty big. Like, I'd imagine Teddy likely got one of the slightly larger tents.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm tiny, so I needed the boost from the deer to get me a big tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also sharing the tent with the deer. So
Well,
the space is being used.
And I assume we need to wrap up soon, right?
I mean, I'm good, but you can end whenever you want.
it wouldn't be too bad.
Okay, because like I'm trying to make sure that because you have that early thing. Basically, you have time until it gets to sort of evening. Which you only know is getting closer to evening because near the bonfire they just ring a massive bell every hour because
Great.
Oh, every
There's-
hour.
there's no sunlight through here. The canopy of the trees are too dense.
Is someone just sitting down counting each second?
Have they considered clocks?
I mean, y'all would know this, but a lot of the time, your characters wouldn't know this. We do have people who are just an animal using an internal clock to keep time, and then ringing the bell.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, mechanical clocks are quite rare here.
Of course.
The secret is they
Imagine not
probably
being-
have a guy up in the top of the trees with a sundial. And then he signals it down to somebody on
Honestly,
the ground level.
Chill ass job, just sitting on top of a tree, getting sunlight all day.
And as it reaches evening, you are approached by this wolf bane. And that is where we will leave it off for next time.
Fuck.
Okay, there is something else I'd like to mention to you as an idea I had, Ninja.
Hmm?
Because of how critical insight tokens are, and it potentially being not everyone getting to roll a whole bunch each session. Get an insight token for showing up at the end of session.
Yeah, we can do that. Everyone can have one for showing up.
Just so that way you will continue to be able to stockpile them for when you need them if you so choose.
Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.